Hey guys, in this episode, I am joined by Doug Lau, a raver from California, whose interest in the EDM community led him to create a YouTube channel, as well as the group The Gay Rave and Circuit Almanac. His mission is to help other LGBTQ plus ravers connect online and in real life at events. Doug is also recently pursuing a coaching career to help people land their dream job, which we will get into today. So let's just jump into things. Hey guys, welcome back to Rave Culture Cast, your weekly guide to the EDM community, music festivals, and more. I am your host, Emma Capotis. Happy Wednesday, fam. How are we all feeling? Guys, I just had to record that intro like 3 times in a row because I am tripping over my words today. It's just one of those days, but I am super hyped to be here. We have a very high energy, exciting interview coming at you guys today, which I will talk about in just a second, but I have to say right off the bat that I am super excited about this week. For those of you who do not know, I am a Pisces baby, I am a February baby. I turn 30 this Sunday. What the fuck? Like, what the hell? I don't know where my 20s went, but we're turning 30. Which is a huge milestone, and I am super excited about it. And it's had me like reflecting on my life a lot lately, and it's just been a big year in general. Like, obviously there's been a lot going on, but just like milestone wise, like I got engaged in 2020, I bought a house in 2020, I'm now planning my wedding during a pandemic. So there's been a lot of things happening in my life, but I am super grateful for where I'm at and how things are going, and I'm grateful for all of the lessons that have been learned so far, and the good days and the bad days and everything that led up until this point. So I'm just really excited. So this is like the birthday episode. Anyway, if anybody else is celebrating a birthday in February, happy birthday. I feel like we always get neglected because nobody likes February because it's super fucking cold and there's never anything to do this month. And I'm in New Jersey. If any of you guys are local to the area, it has been snowing like nonstop. Like, I do not remember the last year we got this much snow, and it's been ridiculous. So I've just been at home, comfy cozy with my hot chocolate, loving life. But anyway, I've always been waiting to say this. I'm gonna be 30, flirty, and thriving baby. If anybody knows what movie I'm talking about right now, you guys are a real one. I've been waiting to say that. That would be such a good totem, by the way. I was thinking about that. I'm not a person that ever brings totems to festivals, but I would love to bring a 30, flirty, and thriving totem to the next festival. Maybe Electric Forest, we'll see. Anyway, long tangent over. Before we dive into today's episode, if you guys are enjoying the content, if you guys like listening to me talk, if you like the interviews, I would love it if you could make this your Instagram stories today and tag at raveculturecast. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. I see your reviews on iTunes. I very much appreciate it. So thank you guys for doing that. Again, we have a YouTube channel now. You guys can go subscribe over there. And of course, we have our incredible Facebook group community, which I'm going to be doing a Zoom family call very soon. So by the time this comes out, it won't happen yet, but I'm planning one for the end of February, like, you know, right after my birthday. So get in the Facebook group so you guys know when that Zoom call is happening, and you will get a link to join that. All right, our affirmation of the week. So I really wanted to, excuse me, celebrate, you know, just life, celebrate a birthday. So I thought a birthday affirmation would be good, but just in general, apply this to your life. Let these words soak in, say them out loud, write them down. We are sort of like putting this out into the universe and creating some good vibes today. So the affirmation this week is, I celebrate how far I have come and honor the battles I have overcome. I believe that my best days are ahead of me, and there's so much more for me to accomplish in this world. I resonated super hard when I saw that message, and like I said, there have been good days, there have been bad days, but you just gotta keep pushing through it, and you just gotta see like there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And I'll probably talk about it later in EDM news, but there is definitely some good news on the horizon as far as like live events and music festivals, and you know, hopefully people are getting vaccinated and we'll get to a place where things will start opening up again. And we're just getting closer and closer to that. So, the bad days are behind us, guys. Good days are ahead of us. So celebrate how far you have come this far. All right, so I mentioned in the intro today we have Doug Lau. He is a friend of mine who I've been able to connect with online, and we'll talk about it a little bit, but I basically found his YouTube channel like years ago, and he had, similar videos to mine, helping ravers in the community, and he's just fun. He has perler videos, and he just stuck out as like such a fun personality. He wears these really colorful glasses that are like just the frames, and then I knew that he had this group, which is incredible for the LGBTQ plus community, where they have, I think there's like 7,000 people in the Facebook group, which is amazing. So definitely feel free to join that. If you guys are interested. Again, it is called the Gay Rave and Circuit Almanac. I'm gonna let him tell that whole story today of how that came to be, what their mission is. We talk about gay cruises. We talk about his coaching program that he's getting into. Because funny enough, I've mentioned this, but I'm also doing, social media courses and coaching, and Doug and I were in the same program at the same time. We both took this like 12-week online course together. So that was really cool, just to have a friend who was doing it at the same time. So anyway, that's how we know each other. He's amazing. Oh, we talk about Disneyland a lot as well, you guys. If you were a Disney fan, he worked there for a couple of years. So a lot of fun things in store. I'm just gonna let him go ahead and start talking. So please join me in welcoming Doug to the podcast. So to kick things off, I'm super excited that you are here today. I wanted to tell a quick little backstory, which I probably told you at some point, I'm not sure, but I knew about you probably before we even connected this past year, because I found you through your YouTube videos, because you have a YouTube channel and you do rave videos. And like, I just remember watching them and just loving your personality. And I was like, this guy's really cool. And then weirdly enough, like we connected, I think this past year, and now we have this cool Facebook group and things like that. But it's just so funny that it's like a small community in a way, and you still like happen to run into people. So I knew at some point we were going to connect, but it's weird. And now we're here and you're on the podcast. So first off, welcome to Rave Culture Cast.
Thank you so much for having me. And just that story actually is like very similar to me being introduced to you as well, because I've seen your YouTube videos prior to actually talking to you. And I don't remember who reached out to who. But yeah, I was watching your videos to get inspiration and motivation to do more videos. So it's been very cool to connect with you.
Yeah, no. Oh my God. No, I'm so excited. And you have a lot going on, but I, recently learned some new things about you too. So today, I just want everybody to get to know your story. And then of course we'll talk about the videos and everything, what you're doing with coaching now. And I want to talk about the Facebook group and the group community, the website that you have as well. So to kick things off, we'll back up a little bit. Could you fully introduce yourself, who you are, where you're from, what you do, all those good things?
Sure. Well, my name is Doug, and my YouTube name is Fat Boy Doug. And so a little story on that, because I'm sure people are questioning why are you called Fat Boy Doug?
Right.
So it's actually a nickname that I got from my family from when I was really young. I was born in Hong Kong. And so my parents speak Chinese, or we all speak Chinese. And it's kind of like a term of endearment to call someone like a fat boy, because they're like chubby and whatnot. So I had that nickname growing up. And of course I grew out of the chubbiness. But as I was in my 20s or so, I started working out pretty heavily. Mm-hmm. And so I was starting to gain some muscle. And so whenever I would go back home, my family would actually be asking me, why are you getting so fat? Why are you getting so big?
Oh my God.
And so it was just kind of like an inside joke that that they would be calling me Fat Boy Doug, again in Chinese, of course, because it sounds weird to say it in English. But so it just kind of stuck. It's just be like, oh, I need a name for myself for my YouTube channel that I'm starting. Oh, this is funny. So that's Beautiful. Where Fat Boy Doug came from. And so, yeah, the YouTube channel I started back in, oh my gosh, I don't even remember, 2017, 2018 or so. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't really sure what I was going to do about the YouTube channel. I wasn't sure what type of videos I wanted to make, but then my second video was about raving. And it was just like my tips on how to have a good time for your first rave. And these are just tips that I learned from going to different festivals, especially EDC is such a big festival. I wanted people to kind of understand how to have fun because it could be very overwhelming. And so that was just like my first video, and it kind of blew up from there. And I thought, okay, well, I have to keep making videos like this because people want to watch it, right? So that's where it started with the YouTube channel, and I've just continued to give tips and advice on raving. And I don't claim to be like an expert in raving at any point, because I still feel like I'm sort of new to it because I started in 2015. EDC Las Vegas was my first festival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Twinning.
That was yours too?
Yeah.
Oh,
you're the
nice.
second person that said, wait, I mean, obviously 2015 was like a good year for music festivals, so it's not surprising at all. But yeah, EDC 2015 was my first big one too.
Awesome. So yeah, and I just felt like I could help other people do the same, learn about the culture that I've gotten to learn a lot about, and help them have fun, because it's just like a whole different side of life that people could be experiencing through music festivals and the community and all that. So that's where the YouTube channel started.
Beautiful. And talk about the glasses. How many pairs of glasses do you have? Because they make an appearance in every video.
Yeah, every video there's glasses.
Stop it. He's showing them, you guys. If you watch on YouTube, you'll see all of them.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I forgot. This is podcast.
No. You're good.
I have them in all colors, but they're really just Wayfarer sunglasses that I got on Amazon. They're like packs of 12 at a time, and you just pop the lenses out. So they're fake. There's nothing.
Love it.
But it's just become my, like, I don't know, my signature look. The reason why I have glasses on is because I actually do wear glasses. I have prescription. So I'm currently wearing contacts. But when I don't wear glasses and I'm just wearing contacts, I always either still try to adjust my glasses even though they're not there. Okay. And I also feel weird when I see myself when I don't have glasses on, because I'm so used to myself with glasses on that I just have to wear some sort of fake glasses at all times.
That's so funny. Oh my God. Well, I'm curious about your raving story, but just because we were already talking about YouTube, what, like, over the years, either, you know, when you first started, even up until now, what was like the response like from people to your YouTube video and your videos and your channel?
It was surprising to me because I really didn't think that anyone would be watching or caring what I was saying.
Right.
But I think because I was able to kind of go at it in the sense that I'm sort of new also, I'm learning, and I'm now kind of showing you how to do it as well. I think they could relate to that a lot more. And so I think I started to build that kind of community through that lens. And so people would just ask a lot of questions, and that helped me to make new videos because I'm just, you know, trying to answer some of their questions that they have about it. Right. But I think the main point of my YouTube channel is just to always try to give advice and help people learn about, you know, the culture and the community.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to go about it. And I specifically remember, it's something you do really well, your thumbnails. Like, your thumbnails are just bright, they're engaging, they're eye catching. And so I just remember that. And then not only that, but I mean, you can attest to this as well. Even when you're starting out, even if you have that 10% edge, because like you said, none of us are experts, especially when you're starting out, you're just sharing something, but you know a little bit more than maybe somebody who's even more of a beginner than you are. So it does like help that people can relate to you, I think, in a way. But I don't know. I just remember your thumbnails and your energy. And that's another thing, like with YouTube channels, I feel like it's kind of like your personality plus 10 a little bit, because you do have to be a little enthusiastic and let your personality shine. But you almost have to have like a certain energy level when you make videos and podcasts as well, just so that it's a little bit more engaging. And I just know that you always did that really, really well in your videos. And I remember your first one, that one did super well. Were there any other ones that stand out to you?
Specific videos?
Yeah.
I know either my candy or my perler video did pretty well. I think just instructional videos kind of like that do pretty well. But I think there was another, like, what you should bring to festivals that always does well. Was a popular one. Yeah.
Yep. That makes sense. Okay. So now take me back a little bit. I want to talk a little bit more about you personally, because I just learned that you worked at Disneyland for a couple of years. Can you talk about that? Was that out of school, or like what made you want to work for Disneyland?
Yeah. So I live in Southern California and our family would go to Disneyland pretty often. I would say like every once a year, maybe once every 2 years. I mean, because we're so close. And so I've always just really loved Disney. And so when I got the chance to actually apply to work there, I took it, and that was first year in college, I believe. Yeah, first year in college that I applied. And so I've been working there since I was 18. And now I'm 36. So it's almost half my life that I've worked at Disneyland.
Wow.
But yeah, so that side of me is like a very professional side, because I started to climb up the ladder in at Disneyland to be a manager. So and so going to Raves was different, and it was like hard to keep that separate because for whatever reason, I didn't want my coworkers knowing that I did that, especially since I was a manager. If I had employees under me, if they saw me at a rave or something like that, how would they think and how would they perceive me as their manager? You know, like would they still listen to me and things like that? And so those were things that were always going through my head. So I really tried to keep them separate for the longest time. But I mean, if we're continuing to talk about it right now, I've decided that, you know, I really don't need to separate it as much. Of course, there's going to be things that there's still things that are, you know, work and private you should separate, but like having people know that I love music festivals isn't necessarily a bad thing. Like I like to have fun. So what, you know, right? So
right.
I think especially being in my mid 30s now, I feel like I don't really care how people think or what people think about me anymore as much as I did when I was, you know, in my late 20s or so. And everyone has a side to them that, you know, that people may not know, but, you know, but why not? Especially if there's nothing wrong with it. So yeah.
That's so crazy. Oh my gosh. No, I totally get what you're saying. I think it's also because even if you describe it differently to somebody saying like, I love going to music festivals versus like the term raving, or like, I like to go to raves. I feel like even with those two, people might perceive them differently. I feel like saying I go to music festivals and I travel for, you know, concerts or something like that, it's a little bit more PC than raving, because people might like automatically think of different connotations that come with that. Yeah. But to your point, it's also grown in popularity. And I think, you know, so many people do it now, and especially being in California with so many events, it's like, it is a part of your personality and it's a hobby. But yeah, I get the respect thing. I have friends who are teachers who were the exact same way. They were like, absolutely nobody can know about this. My students cannot find out when they start to turn like 18. But yeah, it's hard to separate them. I totally get that. But I want to go back to your first event. So how often were you going to music festivals and shows, and like, what was your, you know, growth like as a raver?
Yeah, it was actually pretty slow. So 2015 was EDC Las Vegas. That was my very first music festival. However, prior to that, I was kind of going to different parties just around the nation that were I guess EDM related. So I'm part of the LGBT community, and there are what's called circuit parties that happen around the nation, and it's a form of EDM. It's like more like like housey tribal music that that plays at these parties. And so I've been to those, and but in terms of like bigger festivals, music festivals, larger, just general EDM, EDC Las Vegas was my first. And then in terms of that type of festival, it was pretty slow for me to go on to another festival. I think that the next one was EDC 2016. So, but after like 2 or 3 years of that, I started going to other events that were more like mainstream music festivals.
Got it. Okay.
The first one, well, actually, I don't even remember. There's been so many, but yeah, it's just kind of like a slow process. So that's why I say I'm not like an expert in music festivals at all, because it was just mostly EDC Las Vegas, and I can't even remember what else that I've been to in the early days. But
that's the big one.
Yeah, that's the biggest one that I can remember.
Wow. Oh my gosh. And so where were you traveling to the parties as well? Were those in like big cities, or was that pretty much just anywhere? bigger cities?
Yeah, they're mostly like if you're talking about the circuit parties, they're mostly attached to like the Pride events around the nation. Yeah, so different places like New York, Dallas, San Francisco.
Beautiful. Oh my gosh. Okay, we have so much to talk about. You didn't mention artists yet, but I wanted to bring this up. Who are some of your favorite artists now?
Okay, so so I am a trance fan, and so my top favorites would be Above and Beyond, Andrew Bayer, and Tin Liquor, who is not like fully trance, and then Gareth Emery. I think a lot of classics from Gareth Emery. So I would say those would be like my top 4.
Beautiful. Yeah, there's something about him. I saw 10 minutes of his EDC Las Vegas set in 2019 because it was like the Laserface entrance or something like that. And we had to go to another set, but I was like kicking myself that I haven't seen a full set of his yet. But have you done any of the, have you done Dream State at all?
Oh yes. Dream State is my favorite festival, favorite recurring festival, because it's trance, it's all trance music. So any stage that I go to, there's something that I like. And I learn about new artists from Dream State as well. So yeah, Dream States is my favorite. I've gone to, I think, at least 3 or 4 Dream States.
Wow.
It's another including one, the drive-in one that happened this year.
That's what I was going to ask you that. Was that Gareth Emery? Was that him or no? Who was that?
Marcus Schultz.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. He's actually playing. I know it's like weird with events right now, but I was just talking to some friends. He's playing an event this Saturday in New Jersey. It's like a restaurant lounge, and it's like socially distanced tables, and you have to stay at your seat and whatnot. But I was like, holy shit! I had no idea that. One, that existed and that there were shows in New Jersey right now. And 2, that it was Marcus Schultz and he's playing a 3-hour trance set. So that was very tempting.
Nice.
Okay. So now I want to talk about the Gay Rave and Circuit Almanac. When did you start this? How did this come about? Tell me the whole tea.
Sure. So Fatboy Doug started in like the YouTube channel started in 2018, like the beginning of it. And so from that, we knew that there was some sort of community or people that wanted to know more and learn more about it, at least people that were like-minded as us, and so the Facebook group started really as like for our small group of people, just like our close friends, that we wanted to use it as a place to share events that are happening and just like where can we meet up and just have a central place for us to go to get this information. And so it started very small, but it was Anjuna Beach. So it was an Above and Beyond like small little festival on the beach here in Southern California. That was our technically our first event that we kind of got people together through the group and told them, hey, let's meet up, let's take a group photo. And let's all kind of like dance around each other. And so that was literally the purpose of the group, is so that we can have a group of gays together in any festival and just feel like we could, be whoever we are in this place. Because, going to bigger music festivals like this, when you are gay, you still feel like an outsider a little bit. You don't know like how to act around, some of the straight people who may not be so accepting of us. But then when you are part of a group and you can see like there's people around us, it just feels more comfortable and we're able to have more fun. And so it really just started from that. And then starting from Anjuna Beach, then we went to like whatever music festival or even smaller event that we went to. We just decided, okay, hey, we're going to this. Anyone else coming? We're gonna meet right here. Probably take a photo. Let's meet up. And so that's literally just happened for every place that we decided to go to. So that's where the group started.
Wow. And so from there, I mean, now it's obviously grown. Like in the Facebook group, there's 7,000 members, and are you seeing individuals like break off into groups? Obviously pre-COVID, like people planning their own things now, because now you have all these other small groups. Like, how has that been for you?
Yeah, for sure. Oh, and I just wanted to touch upon the name of it. So Gay Rave and Circuit Almanac, another part of why we created the group is because we felt like there's the raver group, like EDM, mainstream EDM type of music, and then there's
Mm-hmm.
like the circuit group of gays
Mm-hmm.
that only like that type of music,
Got
and they
it.
don't
Okay.
like the mainstream stuff. So we tried to create a group that kind of merged the two together. Not that there's like
Okay.
any sort of music that's exactly like the merge of the two, but we
Mm-hmm.
wanted these two groups to hang out with each other. Maybe like if the circuit group want to go over and try a music festival,
Got
mainstream
it.
festival, or this side, try the other side. So that was another reason why we created the group, because we felt like Darren and I, my fiance,
Mm-hmm.
we do both types of music, and so we wanted others to do the same.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, what was your question?
And have the same, no, just how I guess like the growth in general, because you said it started with small meetup groups. So like even pre this year, were you seeing a lot of people like planning their own events and meetups as well?
Yeah, we actually encouraged it because we were just, two people here in Southern California. But then when we started to see people joining from all around the nation, because we would meet them at bigger festivals,
Right.
And they would come from different places to go to EDC Las Vegas or
That's
whatever
so
it is.
cool. Yeah.
Then they would know about us, join the group, and then they would have events over there wherever they live,
Mm-hmm.
and was like, who else is going to this group, or who else is going to this event? Who wants to join me? And they would use that group
Yep.
to ask those questions.
That's so dope. Yeah, I think it's awesome when it starts to just like snowball and it becomes bigger than itself. Like it just grows and grows and grows. And now you have this amazing community. And then the meetups are a whole separate part of it. But can you talk a little bit about what you just said about like the acceptance and feeling more comfortable at an event? Because obviously being somebody who's straight, I would assume that the EDM community in general is a more accepting and loving place. But to your point, what has your experience been like? Do you feel like there still needs to be a lot of work done in that area?
Yeah, I will say that the EDM community is very accepting, more so than other types of groups or communities out there. And I think it's just part of the Plur, mantra and all that. However, it's still hard to be very comfortable, even if you think that, most people are a little bit more accepting. It's still just a harder thing to feel.
Right.
Fully yourself and comfortable. And so I think that's why we've become so successful in creating this communities, because we do, number one, subscribe to Plur, but number two, we want others to feel very comfortable. We want to create that safe space for them to just dance or, do whatever they want in this party atmosphere.
Right.
And we've heard from other people after we've created a totem and, people can find us. We've heard from other people.
Yeah.
We've heard from our members that's like, they purposely look for our flags wherever they go, even if they didn't know that we were going to be there.
Right.
And then when they find us, they just feel so happy and that they feel safe. And it's so nice to hear that, to hear that people are, finding that our group is a safe space for them. It just makes everything really worth it to do.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, it is. It's a community in a community, and you have this like not only like safe space online now, given everything this year, but to have that in person and to make all these connections. And yeah, I mean, just in general, can you talk about any of like the new relationships that you formed specifically from the group?
Oh my God, there's just so many.
Yeah.
It's just become like every festival that we go to, there's just someone that's like, oh, hey, I know you from the group, and I haven't even like met them.
Right.
Right. And then they just know me from the group, and they'll just come over to us because they've seen our flag or whatever it is, or they knew of our meetup and they wanted to come and meet us and be part of this group. So it's just so cool to see it. It's every event. There's always someone that I didn't know before that I've now met as a new friend. Yeah.
Cool. So what are like the next steps? What is your hope for the group in the future?
Well, so 2020 was supposed to be the year that we would really go to a lot more festivals and really expand into just being at more music festivals,
right,
on the mainstream side as opposed to the circuit side. Obviously that didn't happen. So we actually had some virtual events online. We kind of piggybacked off of some of the live streams that were happening, like EDC Las Vegas live stream. We piggybacked off of that and created our own Zoom party. And so we just had people come on Zoom and dance with us. Darren's really good at getting people to do things. So he would put things on camera, like, hey, show us your pets, or like show us your favorite outfit, like show us your flags or whatever it is. And it just got people to get excited to get onto camera, because a lot of times when you go on a Zoom party, people just kind of lurk or they turn off their cameras.
Yeah, it's not.
But we were, but we had I think 200 or so people on it. Wow. And I don't even remember, I don't think all 200 had cameras on, of course. But yeah, we were pretty excited to know that, so many people wanted to be part of it. And this was pretty early on in the pandemic. I think so people were excited to just be able to do something and put on their favorite outfit and do a little dance or whatever. So that was really cool to do. And I'm glad that we got to do that. In the future for our group, I think we've been trying to get more engagement just within the group, and it's hard because there's nothing to really talk about. There are no events for us to go to, so it's just it's been not a struggle, but just a little bit harder to get people engaged and to make sure that the group is still functioning how it's supposed to be. It's a place for people to get to know each other and create a community. But we are looking into expanding the group, expanding the network a little bit of the Gay Raven Circuit Almanac. Instead of just being the Raven Circuit Almanac, we're looking into creating some sort of network of gay almanac of just other things that we could talk about.
Oh, cool.
Because a part of my YouTube channel is about these gay cruises, so gay Atlantis cruises. Yes. We wanted to maybe we want to create a group just for that, so that it's not, because it's not exactly Raven Circuit related, but they talk about it a lot. It's a big part of our community here. So we wanted to maybe break that off into a separate group. I do have my career coaching business, so I wanted to maybe see if people would be interested in a more career-minded, business-minded group where they could still talk about things that are, Raven Circuit related, and then they won't feel so judged, or people will actually understand what they're trying to say if they wanted to reference, going to music festivals or whatnot inside this career and business group. So we're looking into that. We haven't really made a decision on it yet, but that's something that could be in the future for us.
Cool. And that's branching out into separate subgroups kind of now, right? God, okay. Wait, talk about the cruises a little bit more. How many have you done, and what does this entail?
So you guys may be familiar with Groove Cruise. So basically some sort of company will charter an entire cruise ship, so that they can put on, whatever parties or whatever. So for the gay cruises, it's a company called Atlantis Cruises. And they charter different cruises throughout the year, the biggest one being in January. And there's one that they are booking right now for January 2022, which is actually, I think, the weekend right before the Groove Cruise for 2022.
Got it.
And basically, it's kind of, it's why people talk about it in our group, is because it's such a community where it's all gay people, and you feel comfortable. It's a safe space for you for 7 days, 7 full days, that you're just on a ship full of other people that understand who you are, and you can be your full authentic self. And I think that's the biggest draw of the cruise, is that you're just allowed to be yourself, and you can be free. You don't have to hide who you are, because no matter how accepting your coworkers are or your family is, if they're not part of the community, it's hard to still be yourself. But there on the cruise, you can totally be yourself, and it's just 7 days of heaven for us.
So cool. I think that's genius. That's so fucking cool. And I mean, so I can't even imagine too, because I'm sure there's a ton of people in your group who have attended those. So I think that's really, really interesting. And if there isn't as much coverage on it, and with YouTube, you might assume that there are a ton of videos on a topic, and then you go and look into it, and there really there isn't that much coverage. So I think that is a super niche thing that you definitely could talk about, that I think people would be interested in. But I think that sounds awesome. Are you definitely attending? next year?
Yeah, I booked it.
You booked it? Okay,
I booked it last week. Yeah. We're going for sure.
Okay, beautiful.
We were wondering like, should we do it? It's so far away. We still don't know, with the pandemic and all that, how that's going to work. But we're like, okay, let's just book it. And then if it's canceled because of the pandemic, we can still get credit for the next one. I'm sure we'll go on some other cruise, or whatever. So we'll just pay for it now and make sure that we can get on it, when or if it happens.
Sure.
But yeah, as you were saying, I think, it is such a niche thing. There's only a couple people really talking about the Atlantis Gate cruises on YouTube. And that's why it's been so popular on YouTube whenever I do put a video out there about Atlantis cruises, because I think people really want to learn a little bit more about it. And they're curious about it. They heard about it, and, people talk about it all the time. And so they want to learn more. And just like the rave videos that I have, I try to give tips and advice on how to have fun on it for your first time, what you should bring, all the same stuff, but just for Atlantis cruises.
For the cruise, right? And you touched too on the engagement in the group, which I know you've been putting a lot of effort into, and you also have just created a TikTok account. Can you talk a little bit about TikTok? Because I know you're having so much fun with that.
Oh my God, I am. And I'm getting
you grew so fast.
I did.
Crazy.
I did. I think today I'm going to hit 10,000
Hell yes,
followers, which is awesome. Crazy. I started on the 6th of January, so it's been less than a month.
That's great. Plug your account. What is it so people know?
Oh yeah, Fatboy_Doug, because Fatboy Doug was already taken both there and on Instagram. I don't know how. But Fatboy_Doug. Yes. Beautiful. So go check it out. It's so funny because I feel so old to be on TikTok.
No. There's like a whole new generation. I feel like we're like all seeping in, and now we're like, fuck you kids, get out of here.
Yes, exactly. I'm having so much fun. And I was just like how I was saying before, how I was like two separate people before. Now, like, especially on TikTok, I'm definitely that one person where I can be super silly, doing dance videos, but then I'm like talking about career coaching stuff on my lives. And then like some more serious mindset stuff in some videos. And then like, I don't know, talking about music festivals and
dancing on TikTok.
Dancing on TikTok. So that's why I'm having so much fun on TikTok, is because I really can be myself and just be like, whatever. And people are like actually liking it, and they are engaging with that type of content. And so that's really cool. Whereas in like Instagram, I feel like I've had to package myself in a certain way so that all my pictures look really nice, or, my grid looks nice, or whatever it is. Otherwise people won't care. And I think that's still the case on Instagram, which I haven't been able to really do much in terms of followers and engagement there. But TikTok has been crazy.
Yeah. I literally thought in my head, as you were saying that, like Instagram to me, I'm like curation. It is curated. It looks a certain way, but you touched on one thing I know you've been doing is you've been putting a lot of videos out on TikTok, and something I'm going to start testing soon is just like, I feel like I overthink TikTok sometimes, and I'm realizing now, like, it really is just short videos. It's almost like a diary for some people, like even talking direct to camera and saying something stupid. Like, it needs to be less edited, more raw. People are over like the super highly edited, produced shit. Like, it really can just be you like as yourself to camera, because that's how everybody can relate to that in a way. So I feel like I overthink TikTok, and the way to go is just to like churn out videos and just, be yourself.
Yep. Everyone says you just need to be consistent in posting your videos, at least like 2 or 3, if not 4 or 5 a day.
Yeah.
And because you never know which one's going to end up getting picked up by the algorithm to be pushed as viral. So you just have to keep putting out good videos. I mean, it doesn't have to be like really good. It just needs to be like put out there and that people want to engage. And so that's what I've found has been successful, is just like me posting every single day, multiple times a day, no matter what it is. And some of them just got picked up as viral. So that's what's cool about the platform.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks.
You can tell you're having fun too. I think that's the good thing about it. Like, to your point, sometimes I feel like Instagram now, obviously it's already been more of like a professional platform, but like TikTok isn't there yet. TikTok is so in its infancy that I just feel like you can just have fun with it. You can be yourself, and some audience overlaps, but in other cases it doesn't. And you have a completely different person watching you over there, and you're a different personality than you are on YouTube. So it's a really fun medium to play with. And we've been skirting around this topic the entire episode, but I want to end talking about what you're doing now and everything with your coaching. So can you talk a little bit about how this kind of all came together and what you're doing?
Yeah. So I'm now a career coach, and I help. This is my spiel that I'm going to try and get right. I help young driven professionals who don't want to compromise their fun, active lifestyle to find their ideal career paths and gain career success. And along the way, you're going to learn practical strategies for resumes and interviews to help you get that job. But a lot of what I do is really trying to help people discover what their personal brand is. And working with social media, YouTube, all this stuff, I've learned what personal brand is in that context. But when we think about your career and in your job, you also have a personal brand that you may not be aware of. Everyone has one. It's basically just how you're perceived by other people. And so your coworkers, your bosses may perceive you as one way when you think you're like completely different. Like they may think that you're like a lazy person, but you yourself think that you're like really driven and motivated to do things. So you have to make sure that you package yourself in a certain way so that matches whatever they perceive you is how you feel yourself. But that helps you in finding your dream career, your ideal career. And it's different for everyone. For myself, my dream career was what I was doing when I was at Disney prior to pandemic. I was an operations training manager. And it had everything that I loved doing, which was educating people, teaching people things, training other people. But it also allowed me to have a great lifestyle. So I had good work-life balance. I wasn't working 80-hour weeks. I was able to kind of turn off my work once I got home, and I had good vacation hours, and I was able to travel. All that, literally my dream career. And so I was
you, COVID.
I know.
It's all right. Everything happens for a reason. Continue.
It does happen for a reason. So because I was successful in doing that, I wanted to make sure that I help others do the same. And specifically with like resumes and interviews and just job search in general, it's not really taught anywhere. There's no class to take on how to write a resume in high school or in college. Maybe there's like career counselors or whatever that to help you, career centers to help you, but sometimes they don't have the right strategies. I've actually talked to college career people that have gone to career centers in college, and they told them that to just send in as many resumes as possible, and one of them will stick. Like that's literally the opposite of what you should be doing, because you want to tailor your resumes as much as possible to the specific job opening that you're going to be applying for. Because when a recruiter, and also I've been able to be a recruiter as well at Disney, so I kind of know some of the perspective of a recruiter. When the recruiter is looking at a resume and they see someone that's just like kind of general, they have a lot of different varied experience about customer service, and then they've worked at a bank here, and then they've worked at a restaurant here. It may seem like, oh, that's very impressive, they've done so many things. But for the recruiter who is the main job is to fill this specific opening, that doesn't give them very much confidence in what you do, what you can do for this specific job. So you need to really tailor your resume to what that job opening is. And those are the kind of things that I kind of teach along the way. But as I was saying before, the personal branding part and setting goals and having someone to keep you accountable and keep you on track for your goals, that's the work that I do with my clients, and I'm super passionate about it. And I talk about it on TikTok, which is weird because I'll just go on live and I don't intend to talk about it, and all of a sudden I started talking about career stuff because I've just been thinking about it so much in my mind, and then it just kind of like blurts out.
Yep.
But yeah, so now I'm actually trying to use TikTok as a platform to get more people to know what is it that I do and how I can help them. And I really want to help people just like me, just that have an active lifestyle. It doesn't have to be, like you like to go to raves or you like to go to Atlantis cruises. It doesn't have to be exactly like me. But if you are some person that is wanting more for your life, like you want to be able to kind of go travel when we can, or like do other things that is just not work related, and you want that work-life balance, I want to be able to help those type of people find that balance and then be in that career that allows them to do that.
Yep. And the timing like could not be more perfect. Cause like we talked about, obviously you had this dream job, and then, Doug and I actually did this course together at the same time, which was awesome. We took, a course to teach us how to launch our own courses. Basically, it was a 12-week program we did this fall. But to your point, like you said, there's so many people in this position right now who are looking for jobs or who are furloughed or unemployed, and like at all different ages and different stages in their life, like plus the kids coming out of college right now in this environment cannot even fucking imagine. So I feel like it is the perfect timing, and people really need those refreshers. And like, even what you just said just now, like when I was applying for jobs, I was totally that person who sent my resume literally to everywhere. And now that you just said that, even with Disneyland in particular, I can't even imagine how it must have felt as a recruiter if somebody just like wholeheartedly expresses how much they love the company and how much they're dying to work there. And it's like super specific. Like, I feel like if you're writing something like that you clearly know the brand, you really, really express that you want to work there, like versus just blanket statements, sending it out and then plugging in the different brand names. I didn't do that. I promise. Whoopsies. But yeah, it's just, you have so many different perspectives on it. So it is really interesting. And, the timing of it, this was the right time for you to finally share all that information, I think.
Yeah. I'm excited to work with people from just all around the nation that need this help, that need this guidance. And it's definitely an investment to think about your career in this term, because like I said earlier, there's not really classes. It's not necessarily known that there are these career coaches out there to help you, and people have been trying to do it on their own for so long.
Right.
So that's where I am trying to get people to understand, like, this is something that is going to be useful for you. Yes, it is an investment right now, but think of the return on that investment when you get your dream job, like how good you're going to feel when you're in that job, how much money you're going to be making, all that stuff.
Yep.
Like you have to think about that when you are trying to decide, should I hire someone to help me with my career or not?
And one thing to attest to, like even just, working with you, I was a person too who didn't hire coaches until literally this January, and heard the same thing. Like, you'll see once you start working with a coach, like how much of a difference it makes and how much better you'll feel, and you'll just be more structured in the way you approach things. It's similar to like working with a personal trainer versus going to the gym on your own. So I think, especially if somebody's feeling burnt out right now with like applying, I'm sure people have been applying all freaking year to jobs. Like if you're kind of like thinking about it or on the edge, do you do any discovery calls or anything like that if people just want to reach out to you?
Yeah, I do. I try to get as many people to just come and talk to me as much as possible, because I think that's definitely the way that people will understand a little bit more about what I do, because you can kind of just say, I'm a career coach, I can help you. But it's hard to like tell you in a page or whatever it is, exactly all the things that I can help you with. So yeah, I love to get on calls, like a Zoom call, to just, number one, understand what is it that you need help with, and then I can tailor some sort of game plan for you to figure out how to get you there. And even if you end up not working with me, I love to just give that advice in that call and just help you along, get you on that path at least. Because I think everyone, like I did, I was able to finally get to my dream career, but how long did it take me? It's and just like you said, going to the gym, you can work out, you can figure out how to do it. You can go online and figure out what those exercises are. But how long is it going to take you to actually make the gains when you can actually go to a personal trainer and they're going to tell you exactly what you need to do? And these are the things that you can do, and they're going to keep you accountable to do it. You're going to get there a lot faster. So not to say that you can't ever get there without a career coach, but you're going to get there a lot easier, a lot faster. And you're going to understand what is it that's going to be successful, because other people have been successful doing the same things. So why not learn from that?
Yeah. It's so cool. I mean, this is why I wanted to have you on. It's just so interesting. There's so many different things going on. And I know you have like a lot that you're keeping busy with and working on right now, but honestly sounds like you're super passionate about each of the things you're doing. I don't know. Would you say that?
I am.
Like equally.
I am. And that's why I'm so excited for TikTok, because I can be passionate about all those things all at once.
Right.
As opposed to like, okay, I'm going to be excited about career coach over here right now. And then I'm going to be excited about EDM stuff over here right now. Like now I can just like be excited about all the things all at the same time. And it's made me so much happier and just so much more energetic. Especially, and you can probably see that in TikTok if you guys go there. Whereas before, if I have to like get into my mindset of, okay, now I have to sit down and do this YouTube video about music festivals or whatever it is. So that's what's great about TikTok and what I'm doing now is just like, it's a combination of everything, and I can be just who I am.
That's so cool. I'm glad we had this conversation now, because now we can look back on this in 6 months, hopefully when the world is a little bit more open up, and just be like, we're both getting started on this coaching thing. So I'm really, really excited for you and just to see how this develops and everything. And, we plugged TikTok, but before I let you go, plug where everybody else, where the Facebook group is, where people can connect with you.
Oh yeah. Okay. So fatboy_Doug is the Instagram and TikTok. And then, we have the Gay Raven Circuit Almanac, which is on Facebook. So you can type in facebook.com/groups/Gay Almanac and we'll show up, or you can just search Gay Almanac. I'm sure
we'll link it here too. Up. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. For my career coaching stuff, it would be douglau.com. And then I'll, put something special for all of your listeners. So douglau.com/rave, and they'll see something special there. I think that's it. There's so much.
I know. YouTube. Check them out on YouTube.
Oh, YouTube is Fatboy Doug. Fatboy Doug without the underscore. I was able to get it without the underscore there. So yeah, youtube.com/fatboydoug on YouTube.
Cool. Yep. I will link everything so you guys can connect. And then, if you come from Rave Culture Cast, tell him you said hi, go join the group. Thank you so much, Doug. Please hang tight, everybody else. I will be back in just a second with EDM news. Alrighty, you guys, welcome back. I hope you all enjoyed that interview with Doug. It was awesome just getting to hear his story, and just like, I didn't know his whole background, his career, and it's just really, really cool to see like how his involvement has grown in the EDM scene and in the rave community. And I think it's really amazing what he's doing with the group. So I very much am looking forward to seeing their flag at a festival one day and going over and saying hello to everybody. So I'm super excited about that and the community that they're building. So again, if you guys want to go join the Facebook group, please do so. You can also connect with Doug online at fatboy_Doug on Instagram. And like we talked about, he's on TikTok doing all the things, and he's going to be coaching people. So definitely connect with him if you guys are interested in any of that. Okay, with all that being said, I want to jump right into our EDM news segment. I've got like a couple things going on here, sort of like assorted random stuff, but to no surprise, Hangout Music Festival canceled for this year. So they did a post about a week ago. Vine days. Don't you guys miss Vine? Anyway, they basically said that they are exploring options for a 2021 Hangout event in the fall, but they're going to have more clarity on that in the next few months. However, if they have to, they will wait until May 20th to the 22nd, 2022. That is a lot of twos. Oh my gosh. But I think that's cool. I think they're keeping it open and they're going to see what works best for them. So if you guys have any tickets to that, that's the deal. I remember that lineup was really good. I specifically remember I was like looking at that lineup and I was considering buying tickets to that, but maybe one day. Okay, in other news, Live Nation is suing their insurance company for refusing to cover COVID-19 losses. Now, I'm not going to get into like the full details here, but I thought this was really interesting because I feel like this plays into the whole like decision making behind why we may and may not have received refunds to certain shows. So for example, I bought a couple tickets to events in 2020 to more local shows in like the New York City area, and I did not get any refunds to those, which is really interesting. But anyway, basically like it's a back and forth between Live Nation and their insurance company, Factory Mutual, basically in like the fine print deciding like if basically they are refusing to cover hundreds of millions in losses as a direct result of the pandemic. The issue lies in Factory Mutual declining to honor its premium policy set in place, agreed upon, and sold to Live Nation for a significant expense in June 2019. The policy lasted through June 2020. According to the lawsuit filed in California on January 29th, the language that Factory Mutual outlined in its contract confirms that communicable diseases such as COVID-19 are covered. Furthermore, Live Nation's outside counsel, Mark Halpern, said the policy specifically designates communicable diseases as a covered cause of loss, but Factory Mutual says it will deny nearly all coverage for its current policy holders who have claimed losses in regards to COVID-19. A lot of legal jargon, but it's just very interesting what's going on behind the scenes with all these companies. I'm sure Live Nation has lost a ton of money within this past year, and I can't imagine like all the legal battles that they're going through because of that, but I just thought that was interesting to bring up. On the other like flip side, something way more lighthearted and just kind of like dumb drama. There's like no weight to any of this, but it was really funny. If any of you guys follow Jaws on Twitter, he is never shy to speak his truth, to speak his mind. He's usually getting into all kinds of internet beefs and things like that. They never really last, or they're not that serious, but I thought it was funny. So he basically got into it with Dancing Astronaut, which some of you might know. It's a website that does EDM news. So they always do like a new music list, and they list out all of the artists on Twitter. I do something similar, but I just do like my highlights, so I obviously don't list everybody. But Jaws had a big single. He remixed Show Me Love that came out this past Friday, and he tweeted at them, "Why do I even bother putting out music anymore if Dancing Astronaut will purposely always exclude me from their pyramid lists? Anyways, Show Me Love remix out now." And then Dancing Astronaut came back at him and said, "It's not that serious, LOL, but appreciate that you keep up with these tweets every week." And then they were just like going back and forth, and Chris Lake chimed in, and it was just really funny. So they were having a little battle, but I don't know, apparently there's been like a long-standing beef between Dancing Astronaut and Jaws. Who frickin' knows? But yeah, it's a little obvious to leave him off because he's a pretty big artist, so that was a little weird. Okay, congratulations are in order for Charlotte DeWitt. She is newly engaged to Enrico Sangiuliano, which I had no idea that they were dating, but they're both like techno fucking legends in their own right, and so we love to see an EDM couple thriving and finding love. I think that's so exciting. So I was like all over her Instagram watching videos of them like DJing together, and it was super cute. So I'm fucking here for a back-to-back between the two of them. Can we make that happen in 2021? Because I would be so down for that. Okay, in other news, if some of you guys know More Kismet, they are an incredible up-and-coming artist. They've had a breakthrough year this past year, and they just signed a record deal with Thrive, which is really cool. And I know More has mentioned that they are coming out with new music and working on a new album very soon, so I think we are all holding our breath waiting for that. But I think it said something about the first single is slated to release on February 12th, so that's already out by this time, guys, called Rumor. So definitely go stream Rumor by More Kismet. That's really exciting. And then lastly, I think like two things. One, Subtronics officially announced a partnership with Twitch. So he will be, I believe, exclusively streaming on Twitch. So if you guys want to catch any of his like virtual sets, it's at twitch.tv//CyclopsArmyTV, which is really cool. So he's gonna have a bunch of performances coming up. Okay, and lastly, if any of you guys are local to the New York City area, I had like a million people send me this link today, but like I said, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, you guys, and this article came out saying that New York is gearing up for a statewide festival. Basically, I had heard an announcement today that they are going to be opening stadiums, so I think it's going to be at like 10% capacity, like very, very low capacity, but I think they're gearing up for the Yankees and to be able to open for opening day this spring. But if they're opening stadiums, I feel, my personal opinion is that we could potentially see some outdoor shows this summer, especially if cases, lower and things are starting to get better. I already know the Brooklyn Mirage shared that they're doing an El Rose show this July, which I will 1,000,000% be at. I think it's July 24th. It's a whole El Rose takeover at Brooklyn Mirage and Avant Gardner and King's Hall. Gonna be fucking insane. Cannot wait for that. So I will be there. But it just like gives me hope. Like we have a couple more months hopefully, and then maybe we can get some shows outdoors at low capacity. But anyway, this is saying that venues could possibly open as soon as February in New York if Governor Cuomo delivers on his word as the state of New York prepares itself for a newly minted statewide festival. It's called NY Pops Up. It's going to program more than 300 performances, many of which will be free in the 5 boroughs until Labor Day on September 6th. I mean, this says it's going to be at the Shed, the Apollo, Harlem stage, and adhere strictly to the Department of Health guidelines. It says confirmed artists: Patti Smith, Hugh Jackman, Amy Schumer, Q-Tip, and Dina Menzel, Chris Rock, Billy Porter. Obviously not who we would be seeing, guys. I mean, you might be interested in these people, but it's not like they didn't really mention music as much. It seems like these are more like performers and things like that, comedians and stuff. So anyway, all really good news though, because if they're going to be opening and testing things like that out, then that gives me hope for other types of events. So hopefully fans of music aren't left behind and those types of things will open as well. But that is everything I have today for EDM news. I just posted a poll in the Facebook group, so I'm going to wait and see what your feedback is, you guys. But I'm going to leave out songs of the week this week. I don't know, I'm not feeling it right now. It's not like aligning with me right now, and I just don't feel called to do it, so I'm not. But you guys can give me feedback in the Facebook group. If you really love it, I'm happy to bring it back next week. But I can't really play the clips in here anyway, so I don't feel like it does it justice of me just telling you songs. So I'm happy to always share music with you in the Facebook group, but I just didn't think songs of the week maybe made sense as much unless I could play clips of them. So anyway, let me know your feedback in the Facebook group. With all that being said, we are at the end of the episode, fam. Thank you so much for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed all of the content today. Doug was amazing. Definitely go say hi to him and connect with him. And yeah, give him a follow at fatboy_Doug on Instagram. And of course, you guys, it would be a huge help if you could share this to your Instagram stories or send a link to a friend today. That would be even better. Tell somebody about it. Word of mouth is how I advertise this podcast pretty much. So if you guys are enjoying it, share a link with somebody today. Rate, review, subscribe, do all the things. And yeah, definitely come join the Facebook group community so you can be in our next family Zoom call, which is going to be amazing. But yeah, I hope you all have an incredible week. Get after it today, you guys. Do something that makes you feel good, smile, listen to some music, and with all that being said, I will be back next Wednesday with a new episode. Bye, guys.